Here. Hopefully I tried not to make this too boring, because even though we're probably all experts in the room of some kind in this field, this can get quite boring. But I'm going to start with something controversial, which I said to somebody today on LinkedIn, which is please debate with me later on when we finish the session. I think cybercrime today and hacking is almost like stealing candy from a baby. Now, why do I say that? I say that because when I was at Citibank, we got hacked by a proper hacker, a Russian mathematician who, till date, we never found who he was. He stole $10.2 million, and we never found that money. So he went through and did what a proper hacker would do. Today, we don't have that. This is like stealing candy. That's why sometimes with some of the news items you get, like, how did that happen? Well, we're vulnerable. And some of these kids, some of them are 17, 18, 19, 20, zero knowledge. They're using tools and techniques to steal. And it's very sophisticated. Excelitte obviously started off from one product, and there's 4 now. And based on some of the research, we continue to do some of the work we've done. The first version was launched in TechCrunch in the Silicon Valley in 2024, I think, 23. And since then, we've had, I think, 5 or 6 versions now. Evolving, adding new products based on what we found, both in some of the research we did, some of the collaborations we've had. So all of that is now built up to what's in front of you. So you've got a phishing message scanner, which at the very basic, it says, if you have a link and you're not happy with it, and believe you me, even with all the experience I've had, I've almost got tricked once or twice. You'll not believe. So it could happen to anyone. It comes disguised. It comes from an email. So especially if you've not gone to look at the headers and the rest of it of the email, it comes in and you think, oh, okay, blah, that's it. So we built a phishing message scanner. We use it quite extensively ourselves. We use that. We check each message that comes in, and I think more recently, instead of us having a database that we look up, we now have an AI analysis of the link, of the document, to make sure, because we now notice as well that the databases are not being updated or are not up to date as much as you want. So in other words, a phishing message comes in and you test it and it says there's nothing wrong, but there is something wrong with it. So we've added the capability of analyzing that link end to end in real time, analyzing the document as well. So that's the phishing message scanner. Encrypted data capture. So the encrypted data capture is capturing data from spreadsheets, which we know data in spreadsheets are not secure. So Excelitte allows you to take data that's in a spreadsheet, push it into a database, literally builds a database and a UI on the fly for you. And you can still do some of the things you do in Excel, on the spreadsheet, some of your analysis, the charts, things like that. You can still do some of that, which we'll demonstrate as well. You can also, so you can capture data in any spreadsheet. File ship. So you have a file, and today we have files, we have image files, we have all kinds of files. So it's not just your text files, it's not just sensitive data, it can be sensitive images as well, as we know. The idea is to store it in an encrypted fashion, which we'll also demonstrate. Automated backups. So when you encrypt data in Excelitte, it automatically backs it up, and it sends you a file, an encrypted backup file, and it says, here's your file. And the idea behind that is that if your computer got attacked, and you clicked on the wrong thing and someone's ransoming that computer, you can literally wipe that computer clean, walk over, log into Excelitte, and retrieve your backup. And you have your file back, you have your data back. So you can literally walk away from that computer, destroy it, log in somewhere else, and recover your file. You can recover your file and recover your data through the email backup you receive or on the dashboard of Excelitte when you log into your account. 4-factor authentication. Now, so we also looked at authentication. I know that we've barely got into 2-3 factors. So, well, 2 factors actually. So now we're now doing 4 factors. So you've got your password, you've got an SMS or email that comes in, you've got Okta, and you also have biometrics, which we'll demonstrate as well. So, and these 4 factors, they're not mandatory. You can have 2, you can have 3, but you can also have 4. So if you had very sensitive data that you don't want to take a chance and you want to make sure that it's the 4 factors, you can use that. And the 4 factors take the same amount of time to do 2 factors. So they're literally running simultaneously, if you like. So in order not to impact the user experience of saying, oh, okay, because you're using 4 factors, I'm going to sit there waiting for it to log in, blah, blah. So we don't do that. Excelitte doesn't do that. A robotic penetration tester. So pretty much black box testing, black box penetration testing that runs autonomously, 24/7, can be scheduled, so you can set it up and say run every week. Now, interestingly enough, when we ran this tool on one of our domains, we discovered 70 interfaces into our domain that half of it we were not even aware of it. So some of these interfaces are built over time. So it discovers, it captures, and it tells you where it's vulnerable, which we'll also demonstrate as well. The Web Crawler Chatbot. The Web Crawler Chatbot is also a product that we developed that allows you, that literally crawls every day, like a web crawler. It is a web crawler, so it crawls the web. Sometimes it gathers information from the dark web as well. And it uses to tell you, give you a bit more information about some of the cyber threat actors out there. We'll also have a look at that as well. So yeah, so that and this all works across. This is all web-based apps. It all works across any desktop or any computer.
Email address. And then the actual target URL which you want to scan for the penetration test. Now next you have to provide a verification to show that you have ownership of the digital asset. So we'll give you 2 options to do that. You can either verify using DNS text record, or you can also verify using an email that is linked to that particular asset that you want to scan. So for this demo, we'll be verifying with our email. Then you click on register domain to show your ownership. And then it will send you either the code which you need to verify for your email, or it will give you like a DNS record which you have to configure for your domain so that it can do the verification. So I'm just going to check my email inbox for that. Just over here. So yep, I got a new verification email, and that's the code that I used to verify. So I'll copy that, go back to the app, put that code in, and then just click verify code. That was verified successfully. So the next step we do is the application will ask you for your consent. So this is just like giving legal consent that you're happy with using the Excelitte tool to perform the scan for you. So there's terms and conditions that it gives you. So just make sure you read the detail, you're happy to go ahead. You then say you confirm you understand it, provide your full legal name, and then you submit it for consent. So once you've provided your consent, all you have to do now is to provide a time when you want to schedule and run that scan. So you can either run it as a one-time scan, or you can run it as a recurring scan. The recurring scan is an option which we provide as part of our enterprise solution, but if you sign up for the robot penetration tester today, you can do a one-off scan anytime. So we'll give a time to start the scan right now. We'll provide an email address for where we want to receive the report to. So every test produces an automatic report. And then you can add any additional notes optionally as well. Now, all you have left to do is to confirm that the details are accurate and approved to perform the scan. Then you click on submit. So just give it a moment. So there, the request has been submitted. Now, depending on how big your digital asset is, how many subdomains and systems that are associated with the top level domain, it can take up to hours to perform the scan, or if it's a smaller environment, it can also take a matter of minutes. So this one should be fairly quick for the demo, and we'll take a look at this later on once the scan is complete. Over to the other tab, then I check the dashboard where we keep all of our individual scans. You can see right here at the top of the dashboard, the domain that we just scanned here, Excelitte Encrypted, has now completed the test. So it was pretty fast. So let's have a look and see what the test has returned. So if I click on the I button, it will show you the report for that test. So in that test, it's been completed and it's found 3 issues at the moment. So 3 high issues, which means it's a big concern. You need to really look into it. It will cover a number of different testing modules for the penetration test, and depending on the sort of options that you go for the product, you can get more deep, comprehensive tests, or if you sign up to use our free product, it will just be a bit more of a basic, broader level scan. So here we've got a number of different results. It tells you the status, if it's a pass or fail, and also give you the severity of the vulnerabilities that have been found for certain modules which have failed. So in this case, we can see that the server vulnerabilities has returned with a high severity, with 15 issues found. If I scroll down further, there's another one here for missing headers. So we can see here that there's 5 issues found, all of high severity. And then the last one is with email security. So we can see that one's failed. It's a high severity issue, and there's 4 issues found related to that particular module. And yeah, this list in the report is all the different testing modules, all the different technologies that Excelitte AI Robotic Penetration Tester goes ahead and scans for your particular system. So if you want to see more detail on the actual analysis, you can view the full report. So if you click on that button there, it will take you to a more detailed report, like so. And this is all automatically generated. No manual user inputs. It's all done for you on the fly as soon as the scan is run and completed. So it will give you first with an executive summary, just breaking down how the report works, how to read and interpret the report. It will give you the high level score at the top, and then it will give you the detailed breakdown of all the individual modules that we test for. So this includes areas such as port scanning. So for port scanning, for example, that one's pass. So there's no concerns there. We don't have to worry too much about that area. But there could be other areas which you want to pay more attention to, such as the server vulnerability. So that one returned as a high vulnerability. And it'll give you the detail as to what are the issues there. So it'll tell you, okay, there's uncommon headers that were found being used for that particular domain. There's some missing security headers as well. It's vulnerable to shell shock on multiple endpoints. And it's also identified that there are some certain security modules which are enabled, which can allow attackers to potentially brute force on that particular system. It will then even give you a step further and tell you some high-level recommendations on how you can, plan ahead and start remediating on those particular issues. And we do that across all of the modules as well. So if you scroll down, you can see all the details there for all the other modules.
What are you using for your scoring system?
So we use mostly like CV scoring system.
CVSS?
Yeah, See, yeah. So that is the Excelitte AI Robotic Penetration Tester.